Hello everyone, today we will be covering directions topic. We have 4 cardinal directions. They are north, south, west and east. These directions are at right angles from each other, which means the angle between them is 90 degrees. We also have 4 intermediate directions that are the directions between these cardinal directions. These are northeast, between north and east, northwest, which is between north and west, southwest, which is between south and west direction, and also southeast, which is between south and east. They divide these cardinal directions exactly from the center. That is, now if you see the angle between them will be 45 degrees. Now let us see some important concepts before starting the question. The first concept is, whenever angle is not mentioned in the question, we assume that the angle is 90 degrees. Let's see an example. For example, in a question it is written that a person turns right. So we will assume that he turns 90 degrees right. Let's see one more important concept. After every 4 turns, you reach the same direction. For example, the person is facing north. After first right turn, he will be facing east. Again a right turn, he will be facing south. Again one right turn, he will be facing west. And after the 4th turn, he will again be facing north. So after every 4 turns, the person will return to the original direction he was facing in. So let's see an example. A person is facing north and he takes 13 right turns. Now you do not need to calculate for 13 right turns. You can simply say with 12 turns, since 12 is a multiple of 4, the person will be facing north again. So after 12, there is only one right turn. So with one right turn from north, the person will be facing east now. So let's see what are the different types of questions that can be asked from this topic. The first type of questions is in which you have to determine the current position and the direction in which a person is moving after a series of turns or movements from the starting point. We can have questions in which you have to determine position and orientation of objects or people relative to each other. The third type would be finding the distance between 2 points. And the last type is generally the questions involving shadows in the morning or evening. So let's head to the first question. How would I suggest you to see the questions? First read the question, then pause the video, try the solution yourself and then see the final solution. The question is, Rahul was standing at a point facing northwest. He took 135 degree left turn, 180 degree right, 45 degree left and finally 90 degree right. In which direction he was facing finally? So let's start. Initially, Rahul is facing northwest. Now he takes 135 degree left turn. So now he will be facing south. He takes 180 degree right turn. So after taking 180 degree right turn, he will be facing north. From north, if he takes 45 degree left, he will again reach northwest. From northwest, by taking 90 degrees right, he will be facing northeast. So the final answer will be northeast. Now let us see one more method of solving this. Rahul first takes 135 degree left. Then he takes 180 degree right. Then he takes 45 degree left. And lastly, he takes 90 degree right. Now if we see the total left turns, it is 135 degree plus 45 degree, that is 180 degree. And if we see the total right turn, it is 180 degree plus 90 degree, that is 270 degree right. Now he has taken 180 degree left and 270 degree right. So in total we can say that he has taken 90 degree right turn. Initial direction was northwest. So from northwest he has taken 90 degree right and reaches northeast. So the final direction is northeast. Let's move on to the next question. Ankita was standing at a point. She took 180 degree right, 135 degree left, 45 degree right, and finally 135 degree right. If finally she was facing northeast, then in which direction she was facing initially? So now we are given the final direction and we have to find out the initial direction. Here we are not given the initial direction, so let's assume any direction. Now from this direction, Ankita is taking 180 degrees right. From this direction, she is again taking 135 degrees left turn, then 45 degrees right turn, and finally 135 degree right. So 135 is 90 plus 45. Now this is the final direction we have. The final direction in which Ankita was facing is given as northeast. So let's see the final direction with the compass, and in this case we have the initial direction to be south. So initially Ankita was facing south. Now let's see one more method of solving this. So from initial direction Ankita is taking 180 degree right, then 135 degree left, then 45 degree right, and again 135 degree right, and reaches final direction. 135 degree left and 135 degree right cancels. So from initial direction Ankita has taken 180 degree right plus 45 degree right and reaches final direction. So from initial direction, if we turn 225 degree right, we reach the final direction. This means from final direction, if we take 225 degree left turn, we'll reach the initial direction. So what's the final direction given? The final direction is northeast. So from northeast, if we take 225 degree left turn, this is 180 plus 45, so we'll reach south direction. So this means the initial direction was south. Let's move on to the next question. Ankit was standing at a point facing south. He took 23 times left turn and 32 times right turn. In which direction he was facing finally? Now we have some right turns and some left turns. So one right turn and one left turn will cancel themselves. So let's subtract these left and right turns. We have 32 right turns, and from this we subtract 23 left turns. So we have 9 extra right turns. Now we know that after every 4 turns we will come to the same direction. Let's take the modulo of 9 by 4 to get the remainder. So we have 1 as remainder. The rest of the turns are divisible by 4. So one right turn, initially Ankit is facing south, and from that direction he is taking one right turn. So finally he will be facing west. So the answer will be west here. Let's see the next question. A clock is so placed that at 12 noon its minute hand points towards northeast. In which direction does its hour hand point at 1:30 p.m.? So now we have a clock and let's display 12 noon at it. Now the minute hand is pointing towards northeast. You can either rotate the clock or the compass. So it's better if we rotate the compass because the question becomes easier in this scenario. So let's rotate the compass such that at 12 noon the minute hand is pointing towards northeast. Now let's see how will the clock look like when the time is 1:30 p.m. So this is how 1:30 p.m. looks like. Now the hour hand is pointing towards east direction here, right? So the answer is east. Let's see the next question. Radhika was standing at a point facing towards the sun in the morning. She walks for 20 kilometers, turns right, walks for another 10 kilometers, turns left, walks for 15 kilometers, turns left again, walks for 6 kilometers, turns right, walks for 12 kilometers and finally turns left and walks for 4 kilometers to reach her office. How far and in which direction is she from her house? So let's just take an initial point. Now Radhika is standing at a point facing sun in the morning. So in the morning, sun will be in east direction. So the first movement will be towards east direction. So now she is moving 20 kilometers east. From there she is turning right, walking 10 kilometers. Now turning left, walking 15 kilometers. Again left turn, walking for 6 kilometers. Now right turn, walking for 12 kilometers. And final left turn in walking for 4 kilometers. And this is the final position. Now what's the total distance and the direction? So the initial point is her house and this final point is the office. So the direction of office from her house is towards east. And what's the distance? So the distance will be, they are in the same line. So we'll simply add 20 plus 15 plus 12. So the distance is 47 kilometers. Now let's see the next question. Two cars A and B started from the same point S towards south and east respectively. Car A moved for 20 kilometers, turned right, moved for 9 kilometers, turned right again, and moved for 4 kilometers to reach point P. Car B moved for 3 kilometers, turned left, moved for 6 kilometers, turned left again, moved for 12 kilometers, and finally turned right and moved for 6 kilometers to reach point R. Now let's first draw this scenario. So we have a point S where we have two cars, car A and car B. Car A will move towards south and car B will move towards east. Now let's see the distances for car A. So car A moves for 20 kilometers towards south and from there it's turning right. Now the right is not in the direction of the person solving the questions, it is in the direction of the object or person in the question. Now since car A is moving south, we'll take right from there. And right from the south direction we'll go to 9 kilometers. Again right and move for 4 kilometers. Now this point is point T. Next we have car B which will move towards east direction. So it moves 3 kilometers, turned left, moves 6 kilometers, turned left again, moved for 12 kilometers and finally turned right and moved for 6 kilometers and reached point R. So this is the final scenario. Now let's see the question on this. The question is, find distance between R and S. So this is point R, this is point S and we have to find this distance. Now let's first see the vertical distance. It is 6 plus 6, that is 12. And let's see the horizontal distance. It is 12 minus 3, that is 9. Now we have a right angled triangle whose perpendicular length is 12, base length is 9 and we have to find the length of the hypotenuse. So RS is equals to, I am applying the Pythagoras theorem here, under root of 9 square plus 12 square. So the length of RS is 15. So the distance between point R and S is 15 kilometers. Let's see the next question. I have to find distance between point T and point R. So now let's again see the original scenario. So we have to find this distance. So this distance is equals to 6 plus 6 plus 20 minus 4, that is 16. So we have 6 plus 6 plus 16, that is 28. So the distance between point T and R is 28 kilometers. Let's see the next question. S is in which direction of T? So we have to see the direction of S from T. So we'll keep the compass on T and see the direction of S. So S is towards northeast. Let's move to the next question now. Sumit was standing outside his house facing towards the sun in the evening. He walked for 200 meters towards the sun, turned 45-degree left, walked for another 200 meters, turned 90-degree right, and finally moved for 200 meters to reach his office. How far and in which direction is the office from his house? Now Sumit is facing sun in the evening. So in the evening, sun is towards west. So the direction in which Sumit is facing is west direction. Now in this direction, Sumit is walking 200 meters. He walks 200 meters towards west. Now he is taking 45-degree left. So this was the original direction. From here he is taking 45-degree left, and now he will traverse in this direction. In this direction he walks another 200 meters. So this is the direction. Now from this direction he is taking 90 degrees right. So if I take 90 degrees right, now he will walk in this direction and he has to walk for 200 meters. So this is the final point. So this is where the office is. How far and in which direction? So we have to find the distance and the direction of office from house. So the direction of office from house is towards west. Now let's see the distance. We have to find this distance. So this is again a right angled triangle where the length of both these sides is 200. I have to find the length of hypotenuse. So if you apply Pythagoras theorem, you will get this length as 200 root 2 meters. Now the total distance will be 200 meters plus 200 root 2 meters, which is approximately equal to 482 meters. And the direction is west. Now let's see the next question. R and S are standing 10 meters apart and R is towards S left. Both start traveling towards north, walk for about 30 meters and then turn right to travel 40 meters further. R then takes a left turn, travels 20 meters and stops. But S takes a right turn to travel 10 meters. S again turns right, travels 10 meters and stops. How far are they from each other? So let's first draw their movements. R and S are standing 10 meters apart and R is towards left. So now both of them walk for 30 meters towards north. Then both turn right to travel 40 meters. Now let's take R first. From here R takes a left turn to travel 20 meters. So this is the final position of R. S takes a right turn to travel 10 meters. Then S turns right and again travels 10 meters and stops. So this is the final position of S. Now we have to find the distance between these two. So they are in the same line. So the total distance will be 20 meters plus 10 meters, that is 30 meters. Let's see the next question. A and B are standing on the same point. A starts traveling 10 meters east, turns right and walks 10 meters again. Then he turns left and walks for 20 meters and then turns left to travel 10 meters further. Finally, he turns right and walks 10 meters. B continues to walk towards east with the same speed for the same duration of time. How far are they from each other? Now let's draw their paths. A and B are standing on the same point. A starts traveling 10 meters east, then he turns right and travels 10 meters again. Now he takes a left turn, walks for 20 meters and then turns left and travels 10 meters. Again he takes a right turn and walks for 10 meters. So this is the final position of A. B is walking towards east with same speed and same time. So with same speed and same time, B will travel the same amount of distance. How much distance has A covered till now? It has covered 10 plus 10 plus 20 plus 10 plus 10. So in total A has covered 60 meters. So no turns of B are given, so B will be walking in the same direction. B will continue to walk towards east and it will walk for 60 meters. So this is the final position for B. Now what's the distance between these two? So the distance will be, this part is 60 and for A the horizontal length is 40. So the distance will be 60 minus 40, that is 20 meters. Now let's move on to the next concept, that is the concept of shadows. Now a shadow is formed by any opaque object, and in which direction shadow is formed? Shadow is always formed in the direction opposite to the light source. Now let's see an example. Suppose we are talking about sunrise. The sun rises in the east. So now if I take an object, its shadow will be towards west, that is opposite to the direction of sun. Let's take an example of sunset. The sun sets in the west and the shadow will be towards east. So if we have an object, the shadow will be in the opposite direction, that is east. So there is one important point to consider, that during 12 p.m. at noon there is no shadow, because at that time the sun rays are vertical, right? So no shadow will be formed. Now let's take an example. One evening, Rahul was standing facing a tree. Shadow of the tree was falling on the left of Rahul. In which direction was Rahul facing? So we have evening time, so sun will be in the west direction and the shadow will be towards east direction. So we have a tree and Rahul is facing that tree and shadow of tree is towards left. Now this east direction is left of Rahul. Then let's take compass and see. We have east direction on the left, the person will be facing south. So in this question Rahul was facing in the south direction. Let's see one more question. Ankit and Ankita were standing in a park facing each other in the morning. Ankit's shadow was falling on Ankita's left. In which direction was Ankit facing? So in the morning sun is towards east and the shadow will be formed towards west. Now we are given that the shadow is towards left of Ankita. So this means west direction is towards left of Ankita. Now let's see this with the help of a compass. So if I have west direction on the left, that means the person is facing north. So the shadow is towards Ankita's left, so Ankita is facing north. Now Ankit and Ankita are facing each other. So that means they are facing in opposite direction. So if Ankita is facing north, that means Ankit is facing south. So in the question we are asked in which direction was Ankit facing. So Ankit is facing south direction. So that's all for the questions of directions. Thank you everyone for watching and please do subscribe to Victory Point.